Welcome to episode 2 of our podcast, Valley of Public Opinion. This podcast is hosted by me and Yara.
And me, David Joe.
Today's episode is about embarrassing memories.
Hey everyone, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Valley Opinion, and we will message and follow you back. Also, let us know how we're doing in the comments below. Or if you have any other topics that you might want us to talk about, definitely let us know down there as well in the comments. And we'll work on getting a video up to you guys, and definitely we really appreciate you watching, and be safe and stay healthy.
The embarrassing memory topic idea of today's podcast episode is in honor of April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
It is April Fool's Day today, so I thought we could start off by talking about any embarrassing April Fool's memories you have or can think of, or any holiday embarrassing memories at all. The only April Fool's memories I really have are when, in elementary school, every April Fool's Day, we'd do this prank on the teachers where, some of the teachers would prank the other teachers, and they would, they'd call the teacher in for a meeting or say the principal wants to speak to them or something, and they would come back to the room, and anyways, basically, they would just devise this plan to have all the students leave the room, and the teacher would be really confused about it.
Sounds really fun.
To freak them out. We'd do that all the time. That's not really embarrassing, but that's the only April Fool's memories I have at all, because I was never an April Fool's jokester, prankster.
Yeah, I never really did anything crazy with April Fools. I think I remember in school, I don't know, it might have been high school or middle school, that it was one of my classes, and we had a teacher come in and said that the test, or that she wasn't going to give out the test that day because she had too much other homework to grade or something like that. And then, so we were all really excited and stuff. And then maybe about 2-3 minutes later, she started handing out some papers, and we're all like, what's this? She's like, oh, this is the test. Yeah, by the way, April Fool's. So that was kind of a cruel joke that she played on us. Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty good, actually. But I don't know. I've tried to play April Fool's jokes, but usually I can never come up with something good enough that's really awesome or anything like that. So I would usually do stupid April Fool's things, or at least that I can think of right offhand right now.
Mm-hmm. I can think of a really good embarrassing story from when I was a teenager. That it's not April Fool's related, but it is pretty embarrassing. I have actually a lot of really embarrassing stories from that time. I have specifically a lot of very embarrassing party stories. There was this one party that I went to. It was at this random Airbnb mansion in Beverly Hills, and I definitely shouldn't have got in because it was it was a college party, and everyone was drinking, and I was 16 at the time. And yeah, that was wild because I ended up in the middle of the reason why it was embarrassing and awkward was because apparently the party wasn't supposed to be happening there.
Oops.
And because the owner of the Airbnb like came in the middle of the party and was like, what the hell is going on? And was like shouting and cursing everyone out and telling everybody to leave. Somebody ended up like punching her in the face. It was crazy.
What?
And yeah, but that was just like awkward. And then so many fights broke out because people were just like drunk and going crazy. And these girls started like physically fighting each other. And I had just been going to the bathroom and they were like so there was like, most of it was outside, but there's this like little guest house that you would go in to use the bathroom in, and they started fighting in the guest house. So to walk out of the bathroom, I had to like walk in like through the fight, and I was almost like in the middle of the fight because they were just like going at it, like not even aware of any surroundings. So that was like kind of awkward. But the thing that was really like, oh my gosh, this is uncomfortable and like embarrassing was this other party that I went to. And if anyone is from the LA area, I am from Pasadena, and this party was all the way out in Santa Clarita, so very far from me. And it was also with people that I didn't know, which like long story. But anyways, I went to the party. It was like me and my cousin. And so it was this like awkward party because I thought it was going to be like I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't really a party. It was like a kickback at some random person's house, which was so awkward because I didn't know the people, like I didn't know anyone there. And so like neither me or my cousin knew anyone there. Anyways, long story. But so we were there at this party where we knew no one. And that was already really awkward, and we just didn't know what to expect. And so we just kind of, walked in. We're just kind of sitting there, don't really know what to do. And being, I don't know, just kind of like very wallflowery because we didn't really know what to do with ourselves. And everyone at this kickback was smoking like cigarettes. For some reason, that was like everyone's thing. Everyone in there was smoking cigarettes. And I'm not into that, but at the time I just felt really uncomfortable and awkward and bored, and I was like had come so far to like be at this place, so I was like, well, I better make the most of it and like do something. I can't just leave right away. And so I was like, I really want a cigarette right now because everybody else was smoking cigarettes. So anyway, yeah, basically. Also, what was weird about that place was they kept talking about how they were like bringing something in and like they were waiting for something to come. I thought it was going to be like straight up like just like, I don't know, like cocaine or something. And it ended up being NOS, which I never knew that this was a thing, but apparently it's a thing people do at parties. NOS, it's like, it's pretty much sucking like helium out of balloons to get high. And that's like,
you can get high from helium?
I don't know. It's something
I used
like
to play with helium just to make my voice go crazy.
Yeah, it's something like that. And it's really funny that that's like their party drug of choice.
All right.
That made me crack up. But so basically, what had ended up happening was so I wanted a cigarette so bad that so everybody had like packs of cigarettes. This guy had like a whole pack of cigarettes, and he just like left it on the table and like walked away. And so it was just on the table, and I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And he's just like gone, and like I don't know when it didn't seem like he was even coming back. Like, I don't know. So I just like kind of slipped one, and then I smoked the cigarette. And anyways, okay. So then it was also super awkward because it was just me, my cousin, my other cousin, they were just sitting there while I'm just there smoking a cigarette. Anyways, it was a weird experience. But then these two other guys come up to us who I didn't know at all. I didn't know any of these people at all. And he came up to us and asked for a cigarette because he saw me smoking a cigarette. And I was like, I mean, like, I didn't really know what to do because I didn't really have any, but the pack was still on the table. So I was like, well, I guess I could just slip him the pack. And also, my assumption was kind of that he maybe knew the other guy that was in the party because, like, I didn't know any of these people, but I assumed they probably knew each other, but, like, I had no idea. I don't know. So I was like, maybe they even know each other. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say, you know, that's there. You can go ahead and go for it, I guess. That's where I got it. Yeah, you do you. And so I did that, and he was thankful and whatever. But then the guy whose pack it was, like, came back, and then I felt super awkward because he was, like, trying to, like, ask. He was, like, trying to confront me about the cigarettes and, like, if I took them or not. And I was, like, really uncomfortable because I didn't know anyone there, and I didn't know this guy, and also I was, like, 15 at the time, maybe. And so I was just, like, and I'm just, like, I hate confrontation. I'm not that kind of person. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, but, like, I don't want you to, like, fight me over this. Like, it's one cigarette. Like, I'm sorry. I'll give you money if you want.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so because he was approaching me in a very, like, aggressive way, it felt like. So I was super uncomfortable and I didn't know what to do. And then he just ended up being like, you know, yeah, I'm not, like, mad about it. Like, it's whatever, but you could just tell me or whatever. And then after that, I was, like, kind of a little bit more calm, but I was also like, yeah, okay. It was just really embarrassing and awkward to be, like, confronted about that. And then it was just an awkward situation. I don't know why I put myself in that situation. And then after that, I was like, I need to leave right now. Like, I'm over it. I'm just going to go. And so then I left. We all left, me, my cousin, and my other cousin. And so we left, and we were going to Uber home. But then it was super, like, far and just out of the way. And at this point, it was probably, like, 2 a.m. Actually, it might have been, like, 4 a.m. And so there were, like, no Ubers in, like, anywhere near us. So we had to wait, like, 30 minutes for the nearest Uber to come pick us up. Like, at least 30 minutes. It was crazy.
Wow.
And so but I still was like, yeah, no, I want to leave here. So we were just outside, like, standing around this neighborhood, like, sketchily, just waiting for our Uber. And that was also awkward. And then on top of that, I, like, really had to pee so bad. And there was nothing around us. Like, the closest, like, store or whatever, like, there was, like, a McDonald's that was close by, or not close by. There was a McDonald's in the area, but it was, like, way too far for us to think about walking. So there was, like, nowhere to go. It was just, like, a residential area. So I really had to pee. And also that whole party was all, like, outside. It was, like, outside of a house, but no one, like, the house was not, no one was going in there. So, because I had to pee so bad, and I was waiting for this Uber and I couldn't wait anymore, and it was, like, really had to happen at that point, I had to, like, hide. So in this residential area where there's, like, I'm in front of people's houses, and I had to, like, squat behind a car and, like, hope no one would see me and hope no one would, like, arrest me for peeing outside their house because I just had to go so bad. So I'm, like, on the side of the, like, curb, like, pants down. Like, oh my God, that was an embarrassing moment for sure. Yeah.
Well, I've kind of done that. I told you about that story, but it was when I was a kid, so I can be forgiven for doing that. But my dad also kind of, I'm going to throw him under the bus, but he's the one who kind of said that I can pee out there in public, though.
Yeah.
But, no, that was the time I was out at, I don't know, maybe I was 8, something like that, 8 to 10, I would think. And we went to the Ohio State Fair, which is in Columbus. I grew up in Columbus, and just really had to pee really bad. I think it was either before, because the parking was far away enough that you actually had to take little tram buses that they had you go to the front gate. And I don't remember if it was we went back to the car to pick something up, and because it was such a long walk back, because usually the trams took almost longer than it did just to walk through the gates, that we just decided to walk. But anyways, I don't remember if it was to get something out of the car that we forgot, if it was just when we got there and knew that because of the crowds, we'd end up waiting forever for me to go to the bathroom. So my dad just went ahead and said, well, just go right here. There's no one around us right now. Just go right here. I'm like, what, Dad? I'm supposed to use the potty.
Oh.
And so he kind of just said, no, I'll just stand behind you, and you just, kind of stand right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I was a little uncomfortable doing that, but whatever. And so he kept a lookout and everything. No, we never got caught or anything, but sort of the funny part was where I was peeing.
Yeah.
Because, we're in a park, grass field, cars all over the place.
Uh-huh.
So he had me just pee by the car. Well, instead, I decided to pee on the front tire of the car.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just there with the stream going on the front tire of the car. He's just like, you're not supposed to go on the car and go by the car.
Aww.
So it wasn't really embarrassing, I don't think, because I was so young.
Yeah.
But yeah, you brought up that pee moment, and that just kind of reminded me of that scene.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy childhood story there.
Yeah. Speaking of an embarrassing pee moment, I also have, I've gotten so much better about holding my bladder as I've gotten older because I've had so many embarrassing moments in the past. So I'm like very good at holding it now, but I can say there was a time there were like, I think one was in 7th grade and one was 8th grade. I think in 8th grade, I had to pee so bad, and I knew there was no bathroom in the area, and I was like in a clothing store trying on clothes, and it was in New York, and if you, have been to New York or live in New York, you know that there are like certain places where there's like shopping areas, but there aren't bathrooms, like not a mall, but there's just like a street of shopping boutiques, and these places don't have like restrooms in them, and there's not places by there where there's restrooms. Like you would have to like get out and go a far distance to find a restroom anywhere. And so this was one of those areas. Oh, no. And so there was no restroom close by that I could just run to the restroom. Also, I was trying on clothes. I had to pee so bad that I ended up peeing myself.
What?
In this dressing room, like peeing on the floor of the dressing room. And it was because I don't like to talk about it because it's literally so embarrassing.
Oh, I should be
And my mom, like, I didn't know what to do. I was so petrified and I didn't know what to do. And I was thankfully I was with my mom and she was like very helpful, but she still makes fun of me to this day. But like, she ended up like, yeah, I think she told somebody that, No, she didn't say that, but she told someone that she was like, we spilled some water in here. Can you give us, do you have any like paper towels? Can we have like a ton of paper towels? So she grabbed a ton of paper towels and did that. And then she like got, you know, because she had a bottle of water. So she like, you know, cleaned a little bit. And I think she also like, she left me in the dressing room and like went over to like Rite Aid or something to get some other stuff to clean it. Also, because you would think like the Rite Aid would have a bathroom. No, this area like there were no bathrooms. So yeah, that was really unfortunate and embarrassing. And then the other embarrassing bathroom issue that I had, yes, I used to have so many, but that's why I'm so good. I've really come far. Anyways, in 7th grade, my friend, I wonder if she would like remember this story if she heard it. I doubt she would, but in 7th grade, my best friend and I, we went to the bathroom like together at school. She was in one stall, I was in the other. I like had to pee so bad. And so I was just like sitting in the stall, and she's like in the stall next to me, and she like gets up on the toilet to like look over at me to like, you know, just like fuck with me and like be funny and whatever. But like I had to pee so bad in that moment that it was like not funny and not great to me at all, because I was like, what do I do? Because like 7th grade me, 7th grade also like scared of the fact that I'm like a bisexual, you know, that me, like I was like, I don't know what to do, because like I really have to pee so bad, but I can't just like pull down my pants and pee right now because she's like watching me, and I don't want her to be like, ew, gross, weird, why are you like getting naked in front of me? Like I don't know, that's how I was feeling. So I was like, I can't like do that, so I'm just gonna have to like wait till she like goes away. And so me waiting until she goes away made it so I could not get my pants down in time, and then I ended up peeing myself a little bit. And thankfully I had a jacket though, so but I had to like go through the rest of the school day just like with pee, and there was nothing that I could do, like I couldn't anyways. So that was awful, but I like tied a jacket around my waist, and thankfully the good thing about being a girl is nobody like suspected that I had peed myself, embarrassingly enough, because we were like, because we were just telling everybody that I had like an accident or whatever, and like they just thought that it was like I had my period or something. And so that was not the case, but
I don't think I've ever peed my pants before.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
It's so embarrassing, but I haven't done it since then.
I mean, I don't count the ones that possibly when I was 2 or 3, I'm sure I did then, but I don't really count that because you're 2 or 3. But the only time I can remember is just laughing at TV shows. Me and my mom, me and a friend were laughing at a TV show. But like no, it was kind of, I already kind of had to pee when we started laughing. Yeah. But the thing was that I was able to hold it barely, but I know I had a couple of dribbles come out, because after I was done and get ready to go to the bathroom, like, why do I have a few little wet spots? Oh my god, I actually did. That's about, I haven't had any others. Yeah.
We are going to go to break really quick. And when we come back, we have some more embarrassing stories to tell.
What? Hey everyone, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Valley Opinion, and we will message and follow you back. Also, let us know how we're doing in the comments below, or if you have any other topics that you might want us to talk about, definitely let us know down there as well in the comments. And we'll work on getting a video up to you guys, and definitely we really appreciate you watching, and be safe and stay healthy.
And we are back with more embarrassing stories. So, do you have any embarrassing sex stories you want to tell?
Yes, but I don't want to say it because it makes me look really bad, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Do it for the pod.
Because what the hell? Well,
for the people.
How much of this do I want to say?
That's how you know it's juicy.
Yeah, I know. Let's just say that before you, of course, you know this.
Yeah.
I have never had anal.
Well, I feel like you should. If anybody doesn't know who's watching, we're dating.
Yes. We've been dating for a little over a year now, so. We're not just, yeah. Anyways, so. So I never had. It's not something that we do often. But anyways, it was one of the first times, I think it was. Maybe it was the second time that we were going for it. I think it was more the second time I was more embarrassed than the first. But for whatever reason, no matter how hard I tried, I knew where I was kind of going, but I could never get it to the right spot. I'm like, I know where it is, but every time that I tried to go in, it was either your pussy or right above it. So I'm like, what the hell? Why can't I get this in? And then, of course, with the lube and everything, it starts to kind of slip around there. But I try to push in too, and it goes straight up or down or something like that. So I can't believe I'm even saying that at all because it's so embarrassing. But yeah.
It's always funny, though. It always lightens the mood.
For somebody. For me, I'm like, no, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe this is happening. And even afterwards, and I replayed it in my head all the time. I'm like, I can't believe that happens. Maybe the first time, okay, I get it. Maybe I would have a little issue there or something like that. But I'm like, by the second time, it should be there. But I don't know. I don't know what it is, but so that's kind of embarrassing. It's very embarrassing for me.
Yeah. I have a lot of embarrassing stories, as you know.
Yes.
I feel like I even have so many embarrassing sex stories where it's like not embarrassing for me, but the other person was doing something that's like really embarrassing.
That could be so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to dig deep here.
That's what she said.
Ha ha ha. Well, I can say there was one time. Well, there were two different sex stories. I really have had so many embarrassing sex stories. Just like embarrassing times when I'm like not in control of my body. I feel like those are all the time. All my embarrassing stories just revolve around things coming out of me that I'm just not in control of and that like I find really awkward and embarrassing later. And like for example, one time there's been multiple times that that my period has started in the middle of hooking up with someone.
Oh, the story of
which that's always awkward and embarrassing. But I don't even have like a definite story of that, but it's happened multiple times. It's happened with people that I had like been seeing a lot. It's happened with people who I had just met. It's happened with people who I've hung out with a couple times. It's happened a lot. It's always so awkward though, because it just is like embarrassing, and it makes you feel gross, and it makes you feel bad, and it's just like, oh my god, it's the worst. And then you're like worried that you're gonna like permanently stain things,
or if he's probably gonna go off on you, get pissed off at you.
I've never had that happen, but thankfully, but it's just. It's always really awkward, yeah. But what I can say a little bit more specifically about embarrassing sex stories are Okay, so there was this one time
Yeah.
where I had been hanging out with this guy. So I had hung out with him a couple times, and he, in my opinion, was very attractive. He had really like bright blue eyes and very, my type, kind of like lumberjack type looking. And yeah, so he was cute, but like he wasn't like the coolest guy, but he was very attractive. Anyways, so one time I had planned to come over. This was like we had already hung out a couple times, I think, before this. And I was coming from, I think, yoga class, or no. I was about to go to yoga class. And so before yoga class, I was going to hang out with him. But then also before yoga class, I had just been hungry. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to go to McDonald's before this. So I ended up going to McDonald's before I hung out with him. And I ate a ton of fries and chicken nuggets. And, so I was super full. I don't know why I decided to go get super full before all this. But anyway, so I'm super full on McDonald's. I go over to his house. We're hanging out. And I am, engaging in fellatio as
oh.
And
such a weird word.
So I guess it wasn't like I threw up, but it was just like I was so full that it was like the food hadn't really like settled and gone all the way down yet. So anyways, I am engaging in this fellatio and I come up and I end up seeing that I have like projected out a small little oh my god, this is so embarrassing. A small little piece of chicken nugget out of my mouth onto his penis. And yeah, that was super uncomfortable. And it was obvious that oh my god, like I can't even think about it without, oh my god, major cringing, because it's like, I know he didn't say anything, thankfully, to like make it more awkward, if it's even possible to make it more awkward, but like I could tell he was kind of like reacting to it like a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm so uncomfortable, I don't know what to do, I don't want to address this, can we just please forget about this, move on, I just want to like not be here right now. Also, like,
oh my god, that's hilarious.
It's so funny for me to have embarrassing memories, because I really do have so many, because I have, because of my social anxiety, like almost every moment for me can be really awkward and embarrassing. Like the other day, I went to Target and I was trying to get change out of my purse, and I end up dropping my purse on the ground, and a ton of pretty much all the contents of my purse like spill all over the ground in this Target, and I felt so awkward and embarrassing. And what?
Nice.
Oh my god, sorry. I feel so awkward, and I felt so awkward and embarrassed, and I just like wanted to be anywhere but there. And that's like that happens to me on a daily basis, basically. Yeah, or like I'm walking and feeling good and thinking I look good, or like people are watching me, and then I like end up like, when you like kind of drive your foot into the ground a little too much, and you like kind of trip a little bit just on nothing.
Yeah, when you're going up the stairs when there are no stairs. Tripping up the stairs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that. So that happens to me. Yeah, that's embarrassing, and that happens like almost at least once a week. So
except that I like to trip on mats and rugs too, because apparently there's such a huge 10-foot tall lip on it that I love to just trip all over them and practically fall on my face. So she always makes fun of me about that one, and I'm usually embarrassed.
Don't put it on me, okay?
Well, if they don't just, have such a big lip, or sometimes they just like to, take their hand and grab my foot and pull me down. That's what happens.
I feel like
It's
you
not my
guys need to
fault.
tell him that he needs to work on his core strength, though.
No, I'm good there.
I think we need to work on the balance. We need to work on the core strength. Anyway,
It's getting there. I'm getting better.
You're working
I'm
on
not
it.
tripping as often.
But if I push you, you'll tip right over. Yeah.
No.
I think so. Okay. And the other story that I wanted to say is I think I already told you this story, but it was with this guy who I really didn't like, and I really, I mean, obviously still hate, but I don't hate, but like I don't like him. He just he just had a personality that's really just not my cup of tea, and like made me very uncomfortable. And but anyway, I hung out with him a ton of times because he like was not a drug dealer, but he had like a weed, like a medical marijuana business. So he would give me like free weed. So like that's pretty much why I hung out with him all the time. Anyways, so there was this guy. Also, he was like very old, but like not that he was like old and gross or like looked old. He was like one of those guys that is like old but doesn't want to like let his age catch up to him, and like has a ton of Botox and like tries to still be young and cool. Anyways, gross. But so I was at his house and I was hanging out with him, and before I'd come over, because I guess I forgot to take my birth control the night before. I am so bad with taking my birth control on time. It's really it's really unfortunate, but I had taken, or no. Okay, so I'd forgotten to take my birth control like the day before, night before, whatever. So I took it right before I went over to hang out with him, because I was like, I need to take this so I get my dose. And I also hadn't eaten anything that day, because this was back in college when I was like not eating a lot because I was poor. Anyways, I mean, I'm still poor, but like I was so poor that it was hard to eat. Anyways, okay. So, oh my god, I lost my train of thought. It's also really embarrassing how bad my memory and attention span is to myself when I'm talking sometimes. I feel like a little goldfish. I don't know why I'm so really bad with this, but so I'd taken the birth control on an empty stomach, and I was at his house after that had happened, and we were hanging out, and I don't know what was going on. We were either like kissing or like something sexual, I don't know. But I felt it, because if you've taken birth control or you know anything about birth control, you know if you take it on an empty stomach, you are prone to nausea. And so I was feeling nauseous, and it was kind of like in the threshold where I was like, am I nauseous? Am I not? I don't know. I kind of really feel very nauseous, but I'm also like, I don't know, maybe I can hold it. And so then it got to the point where I was like, I cannot hold this anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I made us like stop what we were doing. Also, we were in the dark, so it wasn't like very bright, so you couldn't really, anyways, okay. So I was like telling him like, hold on a second, like I gotta like hold on. And so I just got right up and I went straight to the bathroom. I didn't say anything. I just like went straight into his bathroom because I had to throw up. And I don't think he Also, like, the TV was on or like music was on or something, so it wasn't like completely quiet. So I don't think he had any idea what was going on, but I was like getting up to throw up in his bathroom, and like upon me getting up, I already had started kind of puking, so I ended up like puking on his carpet. It was so gross, but he genuinely it's so embarrassing. He genuinely didn't realize though, which was so weird to me because he like genuinely had no idea. But anyway, so I went into his bathroom and I'm like throwing up a ton in his toilet, but I also like I was like throwing up on the way there, so I threw up on like in the toilet, but like on the toilet on the floor a little bit, so that was really gross. And then I ended up having to like clean his bathroom and like try, because I didn't want to just leave that there obviously, so I was like trying to clean up my mess, and I don't know what he thought was going on, and I was like really embarrassed because I didn't want him to think I was like taking a shit or something, because I was like in the bathroom for a long amount of time, like throwing up and also like cleaning his entire bathroom. So yeah, that was and I also then after I did that, I had to like I used his mouthwash and everything, so it took a while, and I don't know what he thought was going on. I mean, he was probably pretty high, but that was definitely embarrassing.
Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
Anything with us? You've been embarrassed?
I'm trying to
like
think.
That really sticks out though, not just like your typical stuff that you're like, oh, I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's kind of funny too, so I'm not really embarrassed.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Or even that first 3-day weekend that we met or anything like that?
Well, I guess I was embarrassed kind of to tell you about just like dating history, I guess. That was like kind of embarrassing for me, but I can't think of any moment that I'm like, oh god, this was like horrifyingly embarrassing. Also, maybe it's just because like now that we're so close, I don't even feel like there's nothing that could really I could be embarrassed about in front of you at this point. I mean, there are still things that I'm still embarrassed about eating a lot in front of you, because I'm always going to be embarrassed about that, and it's always going to like make me not feel good about myself. But not that has anything to do with you though. That's just me. But yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I'm not like I said, just that one was super embarrassing for me.
Oh, I know something though. You thought it was embarrassing that I told my mom about like how I'm into BDSM and that we did anal and stuff.
I still can't believe you told her that. That's something.
I love my mom.
I'm not everything. I'm really close with my parents and I love them to death, but they don't know a thing that goes on with me in the bedroom stuff. They're never going to, hopefully. I'm very open with them about things, but that's just not quite one of them. So when you were telling me that, how open you are with your mom about stuff, I was like, I'm so embarrassed the first time I meet her. All that's going to be going through my head is her thinking, you've had anal with my daughter, or something like that. So I'm still a little concerned about that next week. So this will be interesting, but no. Yeah. There's times even still, the little things that I do, I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's not like a story-wise type embarrassed. It's just more I'm kind of embarrassed that it happened, and then an hour later, 10 minutes later, it's like, okay, whatever, no big deal.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed, but it was kind of funny type of embarrassment or something.
That's probably a lot of it.
I know there's a time, it seems like a lot of the stuff is sex stuff for me. Because a lot of my embarrassing things are just more stupid, falling up the stairs instead of down, or I really haven't had a whole lot of crazy embarrassing things that I can remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember and I don't really remember the specifics because it was so long ago. It was like high school, and it was with an ex, and I've kind of, even before us, I sort of deleted a lot of things out of my head just because I just like, I don't want to remember this at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one of us, I think it was during sex, or maybe I was trying to be romantic and jumping into a bed or something like that. And, kind of like, all right, it's time. And, I go flying into the bed like you see in the movies, and they always land perfectly and all that. But something like that, but ended up falling off the bed. And I have a hunch that it was actually during.
Oh my god.
It was actually during sex. And I don't remember who was on who, but I remember it starting to feel like on the edge of the bed. And you just start to get that feeling like, oh, I'm about to fall off. I better start to hold something to pull myself back up or whatever. And I remember feeling that. Next thing I know, we're on the ground. And I want to say that I was the one who fell. About. Yeah, I think I was the one that was like laying on the bed.
Yeah.
And fell off, and I couldn't hold myself in. I'm like, whoop, here we go, and just boom. So that was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
There, but I think that's all that I have right now.
Yeah.
Other than, we almost got caught one time, but it was kind of embarrassing because I don't even know if we should be saying the story.
Tell it.
But it was, but you know about this one, I've told you about that.
Yeah.
But we were just sort of, I think it was we were watching like American Idol or one of those type of shows. And just ended up starting up and everything, and just under the covers. And then the doors closed in the bedroom, but we didn't realize her brother was upstairs. And her brother's room was literally right next. You could open up both doors and they bang into each other. That's how close they are.
Yeah.
And so didn't realize he was up there.
Oh, now I remember this. Okay, yeah.
And so then he just ends up walking in on us. And it's not like you could really tell. It was more like the spooning position that we were in. And so you really wouldn't know because we had a full blanket on and everything because people were home. So we're just kind of like, we got to be really careful. So anyways, he walks right on in. And then just sits on the corner of the bed and has no clue what we're doing. And here I am with nothing on underneath me. I think she still had her pajamas on or something like that. Her pajama bottoms at least on. And here I am with my jeans are actually underneath the bed. So yeah, he's sitting on the corner of the bed and just, I don't know, doing some stupid talk or something like that. I don't know. He tried to make funny jokes or would annoy us and just start to watch TV with us all the time. So
yeah,
he was doing that and he was in there for not just like a minute or two. It was like 10 or 12 minutes he was in this bedroom.
Oh, God.
And we're trying to find ways to get him out of there because we're like, and the door's open and we're worried that her dad's going to come up the stairs or something like that. Because he would come in and just hang out with us too, which was fine, but still.
That's weird thing.
So I was really freaking out about that. Inside at least, so. But no, then finally he left, and they were like, okay, we're kind of done with this. Not going to go any further. And then it's just more of a hanging out in the bed session instead of anything else. So that was kind of embarrassing, just because her brother was in the room.
Yeah.
So.
With this discussion, I can't help but think about one of my old favorite TV shows. Awkward. It used to be on MTV. If you, now that we're coming to the end of this podcast episode, if you want some other great content to go watch, I definitely recommend Awkward. MTV's Awkward. I'm sure you could watch it illegally, but I know it's definitely on Hulu. So if you want to go watch it on Hulu, if you have Hulu, it's good. You should go watch it on Hulu.
I think I'll have to.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed hearing their stories.
This was fun.
It was great. And we will
Tell us any of yours too that you might have.
Definitely. Let us know.
We'll read them too if you leave us some
send
comments.
us messages on. If you're listening to this podcast, you can do it on our YouTube comments or send us anything on Twitter. So even if it's not an awkward, embarrassing story, even if you just want to tell us how much you hate our voices, please tweet us. Tweet us anything. So we will talk to you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a good one. Stay healthy. Bye.